Hi, I'm Josh, your English learning guide, and this is English Hacks. Welcome back to the pronunciation course. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the sound I, which is the second vowel sound in the chart. So last time we talked about the E sound, as in eat, eat, eat. We saw that the IPA symbol, the International Phonetic Alphabet symbol, is a lowercase I. Remember, that is not an English letter, it is an IPA letter. Today's symbol is a capital I. It's just what the IPA uses. Again, you don't have to memorize that, and I don't recommend that you memorize that. They're just useful for this chart. So this is the sound like in the word it. Okay, it, or sit, or fix, or him. Okay, so as you can see from this, the most common spelling pattern by far, meaning by a lot, the most common spelling pattern more than any other spelling that you will find for this sound is just the letter I in English, just the letter I. Now, if there's an E at the end, there's a silent E. That is a common way that we change the vowel sound. Okay, that's one reason why we have so many words with silent E's, because it's actually changing the vowel sound. Now you know. So we have, without the E, we have sit, sit with E. With the E, it turns into I, sight, sight. Okay, so it's just like the word I, right? For me. Now, I know this is all confusing, right? Capital I, capital I. Again, don't worry about the IPA. The English word I as in me, myself. Okay, now how do we make this sound? So remember, this chart is sort of it's like your mouth, right? It's supposed to represent your mouth. So this is with your jaw open. So, so this would be an open position down here. So we know that if the sound is up here, your mouth isn't going to be open a lot. It's not going to be ah, right? In fact, it's still up in this first part of your mouth. And we know that because we're in the front here, we're going to be using the front part of the tongue. Okay, so not the middle part, not the back part, just the front part. Just like with the E sound. So mouth is pretty closed, using the front part of the tongue, not the middle or the back. And this can be a little difficult to get, and we'll see why in a second, but if you just sort of drop down a little bit. So if you have the E sound, right? And if you're not doing this exactly like English, when you try to drop it down, it might not be quite the right sound, but it should still be pretty close. So if we go into E, and you feel that E, 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 okay? And then you just kind of want to just open a little. Let your mouth, you don't have to open your jaw, but let your jaw open a little, let your tongue fall down a little. Don't let it just completely relax, just kind of move everything a little more open, a little more down. E, E, E. You probably can't even see a change, but E, 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 E. So all I'm really doing is kind of just letting my mouth open a little bit, letting my tongue come down a little bit, that's all. Just, I'm keeping the sound here. Technically, I am sort of relaxing this shape. This is like the E shape. We have a little bit of a special shape in English. And so up here, it kind of comes up a little bit, and I am kind of relaxing that a little bit. So if you have the same shape and you drop it down, it's not going to sound right. It's going to be like E. So if you sound like that, it's not right, okay? What that sounds like, it's too closed back here, and so that's why you need to sort of relax that, keep the sound here, and just let it E, I, E, I, E, I. So you're relaxing the tongue a little bit, but not all the way, just kind of bring it down a little bit. Okay. Now if you go too far, if you open too much, you're gonna start hearing another sound that you probably have in your language, which is the next sound, somewhere around here. That's gonna be the next sound that we'll talk about, but that's eh. Remember, this is a silent H, it's just the way we would try to write the sound phonetically in English. So it's eh, eh. And that is a sound that many languages have. It's not necessarily the exact same sound in English, but it's very close. So most languages have E, most languages have eh, very common, but I haven't seen a lot of languages that have this eh sound between them, or in between these two sounds. So this can be a very difficult sound to get, and it is a very common problem for English learners to get this sound. If you're able to find that sound and reproduce it pretty easily, fantastic, fantastic. But know that it might take some time and some work. You should probably find a partner or maybe a teacher that can just give you some feedback on this, just to make sure you sound correct. We saw some words before, but I'll go ahead and put some more words up, and we're gonna repeat, right? So we'll say hit. Hit. Make sure it is not heat and it is not het. Okay? Hit. Hit. Mix. Mix. Like if you're making a cake, you might mix all of the ingredients together. Okay? Mix. Not mix, not mex. Mix. Okay. Be very careful with p, and b, because since you're closing your lips, a common problem that English learners have is when they go to open, they'll open too much. And so this will become like meh. Don't do that, right? You want to control it. Meh. Okay. We can say this word. Big. So again, watch the lips there. B, not be. We can say this. Remember, this S here in this word is a Z sound. We spell it with an S, but it's a Z sound. His. Okay, if you say hiss, that's a different word. Spelled with two S's. That's the sound that a cat makes when it, a cat, right? That's called a hiss. Okay, so don't say it with an S. His. Dip. D. Okay, so we're going from that D there again, because you're going D. Remember, not here. It's not D. It's not D. As I've talked about in other videos, we'll learn more about that later. We put the D up here. D. If you want to put it here for now, it's okay. But when you release the D, it's common to go too far. Like de. I don't want to do that. Okay, so de. Again, keep it controlled. Just go straight into that I, not E, not I. Dip. And one more, we'll go ahead and say this one. Okay, so this is spelled with a CK at the end, but that's just one sound, K. Lick, which is, right, that's lick. Okay, now the L in English is different than many other languages. We won't worry too much about that right now, just do it the best you can. L. And we go to I. Le. That can be kind of hard because depending on where you put the L, as you try to get into the I, you might actually have to sort of let your tongue kind of come back a little bit. And that's usually a difficult combination, but some combinations will need more work, remember. So if you can't say this properly, give it some time, give it some practice, you will eventually get it. But li, lick, lick. You can definitely get this sound. I've had some students that to get this sound, with me coaching them and helping them, it took them maybe 2 or 3 weeks with having classes, say 2 or 3 times a week. That's the worst case scenario, but they did eventually get it. I've had other students that within 1 to 2 classes, they got it. And they were able to consistently do it. But it will take some practice to make sure that it's consistent over time. This is a process, right? We're just going step by step here and trying to put the pieces together. So don't worry if it takes you a little while, but I definitely recommend working with someone that can give you feedback and tell you how you sound. They don't have to be able to tell you this type of information, all the details and technical stuff, but they at least have to be able to tell you if you sound natural or close to correct. Any native speaker can do that. Well, almost any native speaker. But if you can't really hear this sound, then you definitely need feedback, you need help, because you might not even be able to hear the sound properly. You think you do, but you don't. Or you might just be hearing me say E, 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 or all the time. And that's normal, that's fine. The next video, we will compare E and I with special exercises. So that will sort of help you be able to hear the difference. To check, before we go today, to check the homework from last time. So what we had, so I can't really give you feedback for the homework here, unfortunately, but it helps give you a little bit of structure and we can sort of maybe see how you're doing. Just the pure sound, E, E. Remember here we're now talking about this sound from last time. So E, okay, eat, eat. So we want eat, not et, not it, right? That'd be it, it. Eat. Should be pretty easy, right? Seam. Seam. Okay. Beat. Beat. Now the B, B at the start of a stressed syllable in English is pretty strong. So your language might be saying like beat, beat. B, B, strong. Beat, beat. Okay. Keep. Again, not keep, keep. Keep. I want to hear that air. Keep. Okay. We. Now the W is very open. It's very open inside, but the lips are closed. Okay. You do not want these teeth to touch this lip. It's a common mistake. Because then you get sort of a V, like a VW mix, like v. We don't want that. Okay. Sounds very unclear. So w. Okay, and then E, we. Okay. Fee. Now here with the H, okay, here, the thing about the H, which we will talk about more later, H is just air in English. I know some languages it's used, but it's silent. It might be a different sound. Sometimes it's like a h or something. In H, it's just a clear flow of air, like breath. However, whatever vowel is after the H will sort of shape the H. So here we're going H to E, okay? And so we're not gonna say like E, no, right? We go into the E position, E. But instead of using our voice we just push air. Okay, so it's like a voiceless E. So we're basically doing a voiceless E and then a voiced E. So that's what the H does. It sort of takes the shape of whatever vowel is after it. He, okay? Now in this case, SH is just spelling. There's no S sound, there's no H sound. It's not he. No. This is one sound unit, spelled with two letters. Sh. Okay, so this, what I just said about the H here, does not apply here. This is not an H sound, okay? So we're going sh plus E, she. Lastly, we have me. So your homework today, talking about this I sound, the second sound here, right? I, like an it. Okay. Your homework for today, there's actually two recordings. Both recordings have the same sound, but for some reason I have two. One starts with the word mix. The other one starts with the word sit. So you will find both of those recordings in the Vowel folder in the Google Drive link below. So again, same sound, there's no difference there. It's just two recordings with the same sound. Okay, so there will be another folder now called Listening Dictations. Okay, and what that is you'll listen to an audio file, one audio file. Okay, we're going to do one per video in this course. And you're going to write what you hear. Okay, this is also called a written dictation. So you might have heard that before, but you just listen, write what you hear. If you really want to test yourself, just listen one time, and next time we'll see the answer. But you can listen to it as many times as you want. One good technique is, let's say you don't understand one or more words somewhere. So for example, you hear I like, and then you don't understand something here. You just put an underline to mark that it's something missing, right? That's a really good thing to do. But just really focus on listening, okay? We will incorporate an analyzing stress and this and that and all that stuff into that. Here we're focused a lot on the listening part, not so much the production part. But with the individual sounds, we also want to get the production of the sound down. But if nothing else, we want the listening part. So that'll be your homework, okay? Do those two recordings with mix and sit, and then go ahead and do listening dictation number 1. Okay? If you look at these and they're too easy for you, as I said, on my channel, I also have other listening dictations, which are quite a bit faster, a bit more advanced. There's a little bit more detail to them. But this way, if you're not quite able to do the listening dictations on my channel, you at least can do these as we go through this course, which will help you a lot. Questions, comments, leave them down below. Otherwise, hit like if you like this video, subscribe, hit the bell, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys next time.